It's been over 10 months since the last major Create mod update, and I often find myself wondering, what could be next? But before I get into talking about what I want to see from future versions of Create, I do want to talk about some small spoilers we've seen for the Create.51 release. One of the Create mod artist Crippers has been showing some screenshots and videos of the upcoming smaller update. The first thing shown was a new set of armor when the Create mod hit 30 million downloads. This new set of armor seems to be upgraded in netherite gear. The first thing I noticed about this is we can actually see that there is a back tank attached to the chest piece, which I would think would provide decent protection while still being able to power your extendo grip, diving helmet, and potato cannon, something that I'm sure we've all been waiting for. I would also imagine it would hold more pressure, allowing you to use your tools for a longer time. Along with this, we can also see that the helmet fully encases the head of the player, which makes me think that we'll either get some capabilities of the diving helmet, or this will allow us to survive in lava for a short time. The next thing showing off is sadly something that is not expected to be added to the game, and that is the Enderling Collector and Trader. These seem to be a new mob that the player could trade with. I love the idea of having a way to trade away Create components or trade for them, so even if we don't end up seeing this guy in the game, it'd be really cool if we ended up getting a new villager profession in the future to allow us to trade Create items. One of the more recent showcases we got is a brand new water wheel design. We are getting a model update to the small 3x3 water wheel we've been using for a while now, and with this model update the size seems to remain the same, so any contraptions made with the old water wheel should keep working the same as before. Along with the update to the 3x3 water wheel, we're also getting a brand new 5x5 water wheel. This larger water wheel can also have its wood color changed to match the aesthetic of your builds. I'd imagine that the larger water wheel will produce more stress than the smaller ones, making it a great addition for early game power. And finally, we got a cool teaser for andesite scaffolding. This block looks super cool and should be really helpful for building and adding more detail to your builds. The new scaffolding can be broken with a wrench and will release with multiple versions, so I'd expect to see a copper version and maybe even a brass version of the scaffolding. Along with everything coming to the Create mod, there are also quite a few add-on mods, some of which I've already showcased on my channel, with more coming soon. But there are two that I've personally been watching the development of very closely and I'm really excited about, that being Valkyrian Skies Clockwork and Create Aeronautics. Both mods will be adding physics systems to Minecraft that can be interacted with the Create mod, which should completely change up the game, and once they're both released, I honestly don't think I could imagine playing the game without them. Now what I'd like to see for future versions of the Create mod starts with contraptions. The first thing I think is missing is player interactions on contraptions, which we're actually seeing from Valkyrian Skies Clockwork and Create Aeronautics. Actually being able to use redstone and open chests and furnaces on contraptions would add a ton of new possibilities to the game, as well as makes crazy stuff like train bases actually possible. The next thing I'd like to see is the return of the block zapper in some capacity. For anyone that wasn't around in earlier versions of the Create mod, the block zapper was a survival-friendly version of the world zapper. The block zapper easily allowed you to replace or place down lots of blocks at once, which honestly made building and survival a lot more tolerable and a lot more fun for me, and I'd love to see it return someday. I feel like a really cool new system would give you the ability to generate steam in a big boiler setup, and then pump that steam up wherever you want it to go in your factory, and then have steam engines at the end of that actually powering your builds. So it would allow you to have basically a large area in your base where you're generating all of your steam power, but actually allow you to have your shaft movement wherever you want, using pipes to actually move that power around. I feel like this will allow us to be a lot more creative with our builds and just let us do a lot of really cool things. Another addition that I think would help make the Create mod a little bit more fun to play would be a new set of tools and enchantments. Back in Create.2, we actually did have a few different sets of tools, which were removed because they didn't really fit the vision the developers had for the Create mod. But since then, they have actually released a lot of really cool tools, which I feel like match the whole vibe of Create and work really well and are really fun to use. So I think we're at the point now where I'd like to see the return of a standard set of tools with the level of polish of the copper armor, back tank, extendo grip, and potato cannon. Along with these new tools, it'd be cool to get some new enchantments. The first one that comes to mind would be wrenching, which allow you to pick up blocks as if you're using the wrench with any tool you want. So you can be running around with your pickaxe and automatically pick up and turn your Create components. One other feature I'd like to see in the base Create mod would be melting down ores and turning them into a liquid form. This would do two really cool things. The first is allow us to actually transfer items in liquid form, which would be really cool to have a giant train with a carriage to travel around a bunch of molten iron across your factory or across your world. Another really cool thing this could do is allow us to make more advanced alloys or make alloy making a little more efficient. The last thing I'd like to see is more of a specific idea, but goes to the larger point of some updates I'd like to see with the Create mod. One thing I really appreciate about the Create mod developers is that at every new release, many quality of life features are added, making the mod more fun to play and allowing us to make really interesting contraptions. One of these items I'd like to see is a new filter option for schematics. With using the schematic cannon, you can actually place a book to get the recipe book, which tells you everything that you need to craft up that specific schematic. What I'd really like to see is an option where you could take your material checklist and use it as a filter on a funnel, and it will automatically take out all the items you need to build your schematic. Little things like this would just make playing with the Create mod a little bit more fun and save a little bit of time for the players. And with the new update, I'm sure we're going to get lots of these quality of life features, and so I'm excited to see what they're going to add next. At the end of the day, personally, I'm just really excited for anything that the Create mod team has in store for us. And I'll be waiting patiently for Create 0.6 and all the amazing features that it's going to come with. And with that, let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see with the next Create mod update. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.